Hello, we are the Average FPLers, and we're here with another episode, which is Gameweek 1 preview. So we're going to see if we've updated any of our teams, we've got any new players we want to add in. So I think who's up first? Ross, you up first?
I am up first, yep. We've also got some topics that we're going to cover as we go through our drafts, our updated drafts. So the waiting game is basically players that are being transferred, have been transferred, and the system hasn't updated yet. So it's basically waiting for those moves to come through and when we kind of pounce on those. So I think that's affected Gaz the most, so I'm sure he's going to mention that. And then we're also going to talk about some 4 million men. So there's a few 4 million players that have potential of playing, particularly in my team. So we'll talk about that as well as we go through our teams. So yeah, as you said, I am up first. So I should probably start by going through my team. It's changed a lot from my first draft. I might have to count how many players have survived, but I've got
None.
Martinez in goal. Luke Shaw, my old buddy, he's in there. Trent Alexander-Arnold is in there. Then there's Tsimikas from Liverpool. Is that
Well
right?
done.
Thank you.
That is right.
Ziyech, Salah, Greenwood, and Son in my midfield. Antonio, Tony, and Ings up front. And then currently on my bench is Steer, Amati, Basuma, and Ailing. So I've gone for the double up on the keepers from the same team.
And a cheap bench.
It's quite a cheap bench, yeah.
How much have you got in the bank? It must be at least one.
Yeah, I've got a mil in the bank as well.
I figured that.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of, it's nice to have a bit in the bank, obviously planning ahead. You've got room to move then, because I'm sure after the first game week prices are going to go up and down like a yo-yo, aren't they? Because that's what happened last season. It was ridiculous.
I think there's more chance of fluctuation because as we speak, let's have a quick butchers. I'm pretty sure there was over 5 million players starting game week 1. No, 4.6 million currently. I think that's a million more than last year.
Is it?
That started, yeah.
Blimey.
I know, and then obviously because we're not even on deadline day yet, that could jump by another 1 million, 2 million. People are predicting there's going to be around about 6 million players starting this season, which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We finished last season on 10 million concurrent players. So if we can get to that again, I mean, so again, where we all finished last season in comparison to that, it's quite good. We're not average anymore. So the pressure's on all of us.
No, we kind of did above average last year. You especially, Mike, did above average.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wasn't it our highest finishes, all of us?
Yeah, my personal best.
Yeah,
Best
it was.
ever points total.
I think by doing this, we took it a lot more seriously. And even going into this season, I can sense I'm taking it a lot more seriously.
Good.
If I think back to last year when we started recording our first episodes, yeah, I was definitely not taking it that seriously at that point.
No, you and Gaz were very casual.
I was drawing my captains, our hats, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yes.
You see, that's not happening anymore.
You had to be explained what a tombola was to you because he wasn't sure.
I'm not completely ruling out. The tombola's still around, and there's potential to use it for certain decisions.
But the thing with that is you did that, and then you just changed it anyway.
It's like you and he gets a last minute mind change, and then he gets all clustered, and then he just does something wild like take a -12 when we're not even with him.
Well, I didn't initially change it, but I think that's where the seriousness came in, and I started to go, no, I'm not going to just do it on a draw out of a hat. I'm going to actually pick it. So
that's because that's what everyone's like. Everyone goes, oh yeah, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Just a bit of fun. And then you go in a mini league with someone you know, or a work colleague, or a friend, And it's not even for money. It's just a mini league. And then after game week 1, you go, oh God, I'm like 9th. Oh, this is disgusting. I could beat these. These guys don't even like football. I've got to beat them. And then you take it too seriously, and then you're plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if you're taking it serious before the season starts this year round, maybe you'll do even better.
Maybe. I mean, probably not.
Probably not.
And that's just going to make me feel even worse. But
good.
I feel like I've actually put a lot of thought into my team this year, and yeah, a lot more than usual. Usually it's more just gut feeling, pick a team, and away we go. And then wild card about 2 or 3 game weeks in. But
you hate to see it.
I think what happened with me, I had a major event happened game week 4, and I thought, right, major trauma, and then I thought, right, I have to sort this out.
I was trying to think what you meant by major trauma, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Aston Villa bench situation.
Well, if he's not, he's talking about personal trauma, and you forgot you're a bad friend.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, bloody hell, what happened?
Was I there?
Who died? Jesus. But no, you're talking about FPL trauma.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when I really had to, do major surgery, and it turned out right in the end.
Yeah.
1 week maybe thought, right, yeah, I need to actually sort this out because it was a mess.
It's winnable. If you take it slightly more serious and you look into things and understand stats and whatnot, and as you can see with Russ's slight draft changes, he's gone for what everyone's starting to believe will be Robertson's replacement. Danny Ings now, because we think he's going to have a better attacking chances because he's in a better team. And then Ziyech, I'm guessing you've gone for because he's got 5 goals in pre-season.
Yeah, I did have Havertz in, so I'm a bit worried. That's kind of one where the tombola could come out. It's like, pick a Chelsea player. Which one do you want?
Dear.
But I've just got a good feeling about Ziyech. He's done well in pre-season. Like you said, 5 goals.
Yeah, 5 goals. I think he's top scorer of all Premier League figures.
Yes,
but then again, I think he's played the most because obviously he had a whole summer to rest.
Yeah, so you'd hope he will start the game. They've got Palace. What are Palace going to be like? Don't know. So yeah, I think that could be a good shout. That is at the moment planned as just a 1 week punt, and he's coming out game week 2.
He is starting tonight, just so you know. Havertz and Werner are as well.
Oh, they're in the Super Cup?
Super Cup.
Yeah.
But Pulisic, Mount, Chilwell, Reece James, Aspilicueta are all on the bench. So it's Thiago Silva. So perhaps we're looking at the team, for the most part, that could be Chelsea's backup players, with the exception of maybe Kante, Kovacic, maybe Havertz and Werner, the rest of them. Because Alonso's starting left back. Chalobah's in there today. Zuma, who's allegedly leaving. Rudiger, who could allegedly be leaving as well. So
don't know with Chelsea.
Don't know, but the good thing is if Alonso is if he's showing up as starting tonight and Chilwell's on the bench, it's likely Chilwell starts against Palace.
When are Chelsea Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's still only 4 days, isn't it? Bearing in mind we're only just kicking back into playing again.
Yeah.
So it's a big ask to do 2 games in 3-4 days after quite a long summer. So that's why you're seeing a fair amount of rotation. So yeah, there's a bit of food for thought for you.
Yeah.
But he could easily be changed for a Leeds player or a Villa player.
Yeah, I could. Oh well, yeah. I mean, I could because I'm planning.
You can't do Villa, sorry, because you've got 3. But
I've got 3. Yeah. Oh, I'm planning to bring a Man City player in for their second game. So I could just bring the Man City player in for game week 1, and then I don't have to make a transfer, in theory, next week.
No.
So yeah, don't know.
But will you get the right Man City player? Because once the rotation game starts,
Oh well, yeah, it's just another gamble, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people are crying for Mahrez. I don't think I could afford Mahrez. Not many people have mentioned Gundogan, but I'm pretty sure he's got a good chance of playing.
he probably will play, but will he start deeper?
The only good thing at the moment is there's a few injuries, isn't there? De Bruyne
and Foden
are out.
Game week 1.
Grealish has obviously just got there.
Grealish might come on as a sub, or you never know. He may actually start. I mean, he's £100 million player, so there is a level of expectation.
Yeah.
And if he does start, then again, that's another thing that could push Gundogan back into the mid, deeper role. So yeah, and do you really want a deep line player for $7.5 million? It's one of those scenarios. Would you rather him or just put the money in defence for a City player instead? Go for Cancelo. There you go. Jeez, I forgot his name then.
Go for Cancelo and Ziyech plays or Walker.
Yeah.
There's the same risk there as well.
I guess so. But it's
Mendy.
At least Walker's only 5.5, so if he didn't make it and your bench player come on, that's fine. Whereas Gundogan, if you're playing 7.5 and he's only getting 2 points every week, that's slightly more problematic. That's how you have to look at those things.
I mean, the other option is just go Rafinha, but
I mean, no complaints there. It's $1 million saving. You could put the $1 million in somewhere else.
Yeah, it's making me think. That's probably the safer option. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's underestimating Leeds. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they've had a good pre-season. Oh, they've had a bad pre-season. I've heard they've had a good pre-season. But
no, they didn't really win much.
Yeah. Well, my sources were wrong then, I guess.
They had a bad pre-season last year as well.
Ah.
But then they hit the ground absolutely flying. They're all fitter and leaner. They just didn't look like they were putting much together. But that's because Bielsa was actually trying to get them fit as opposed to getting a result.
Yeah.
So you have to be warned with pre-season, because sometimes a team can look really bad and you go, these look really bad. And then game week 1 hits and you go, oh, they're actually fantastic. Oh, dear. Like West Ham, for example. They were bad after game week 1. But then after that, flying.
Yep.
So I'm sure one of the two of them will throw up a surprise.
Moyes got COVID, and then they were suddenly amazing.
That's true.
Oh yeah, they would yeah, that's a good point.
Weird, isn't it? The West Ham get absolutely far better when there's no Moyes and no fans. That's disconcerting, isn't it? If you're a West Ham fan, you're like, oh, so what we need to be fantastic is none of us need to be there.
And yeah, the joke was when he come back, they expected to go bad again, but they didn't. They did all right.
Jesse Lingard, didn't they? They had new impetus.
Yeah, that helped a lot.
King Jesse. He's got COVID, so he'll miss the start of the season.
Oh, has he? Oh.
Yeah.
Man United.
Oh, the only good thing about that is Greenwood will have more chance of playing then. So I'm glad I've got Greenwood.
So,
yeah.
Although now you said that, Greenwood's definitely likely to be benched.
Probably, yeah. That'd be just my luck. So, yeah, but it feels like a safe one, but probably isn't. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got Shimikas and Marty, both 4 million. So yeah, Shimikas is apparently going to be Robertson's replacement. Allegedly. So if he is 4 million for a way into the Liverpool defence, you can't really.
I mean, with him,
avoid that.
Essentially, with him, it's someone said the other day. I can't remember who said it. It was on Twitter. It said, if you've got a 4 million player, start them. Because if they don't play, and 9 times out of 10, 4 million players either play the full 90 or they definitely just don't play at all. So if he doesn't play, your next bench option would come in. All right, your next bench option in this example is another £4 million player.
Yep.
But Amati was okay in the Community Shield, so there's a strong possibility that he will start the next game or two to give.
Yeah, I hope so. I know they
give Rogers food for thought. I think because if Amati can hold his own there, maybe they won't go and sign Vestergaard.
Yeah, they're looking to sign a player, aren't they? So it depends as and
Tonight,
when they sign a player.
They bid for Yannick Vestergaard tonight, but I
Okay.
don't know whether Southampton will accept that or what's going to happen. But Vestergaard's only got a year left on his contract, so it might be one of those scenarios like with Ings where they'll try and get as much physically squeezed out of them as possible because they know Leicester are desperate, and then they'll go and buy someone from the Championship.
But even so, worst case, I think my other two bench options are going to play. Bassoum.
Luke Island definitely will play.
Yeah, and Bassoum, I checked his stats last year. He played nearly every game. Yeah, I think he only missed 2 games of the season.
Yeah, see, I'd still have Ireland in front of both of those as to come in at bench 1. I think Ireland's on for a better season this season.
Yeah, I just think Man U, I imagine they will concede. They might not, which would be typical.
Yeah. They looked all right, actually, against Everton. Again, it's pre-season, so you can't really read too much into it. But a lot of people were reading a lot into Everton, and that was that they were shit. So...
Hence, I have no Everton players now. When at one point, I did have 2. I had Luca Dean and Calvert-Lewin at one point.
It was how badly they were. I mean, if they just lost 4-0 over 90, and you could go, oh, well, it's 4-0 over 90. But they went 3-0 down after 29, and you're like, yeah, that's not reassuring in your very last pre-season game. You want to see some kind of sort of backbone, some fight back. I mean, and Tottenham went 2 down, but then they fought to 2-2.
Yep.
So you could go, oh, well, there's something there. There's a bit of team spirit. But with Everton, it was just kind of like, well, that's it, lads. We've lost anyway. Foot off the gas, innit?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my team. So I think I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I don't think much has changed. Maybe you've given me some thoughts about Ziyech.
It's just that he's starting tonight, so I thought I'd have a quick look, let you know, and then you may make your own choice. I mean, if Ziyech goes and gets 2 tonight, he definitely starts at the weekend, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, it's like, it's kind of good he started, but then is that because he's starting because he's not going to play the weekend? Or, I mean, Tuchel's just another Guardiola, isn't he? He's an absolute nightmare.
You can read between the lines of certain ones. So like Chilwell and Azpilicueta definitely started at the weekend. That they're being saved. Reece James probably the same. And then I guess because they've got so much depth now in that front line, Chelsea. Bearing in mind Lukaku's not even signed yet, but once he is, that pushes Havertz or Werner slightly back. And then you've got Havertz, Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, Mount, and then 2 others like Hudson-Odoi and someone else. You've got 7 players trying to fit into like 3 slots.
Yep.
It's going to be a nightmare guessing who's thingy, because I wouldn't have minded Pulisic, to be honest, because he's great. He was looking quite good in pre-season, but there's so many names there at this point, and you're just like, I'd rather spend the money elsewhere on someone who's more reliable or guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? And Chelsea's probably harder than Man City, because I think with Man City there's a couple there that you go, yeah, if they're not injured, they're nailed on, like De Bruyne,
yeah,
maybe Sterling.
He's more prone to changing because if he believes that there's a different tactic to win that game, he will change the side up. Or if someone loses his trust.
Yeah.
So Hudson-Odoi lost his trust at some point last season. That's why he got hooked. Tammy Abraham definitely did. He's even admitted that in a press conference recently. So yeah, it could be a case of that. But
probably
again,
oddly,
so many players.
Oddly, Werner seemed the most nailed on.
Well, again, like I said to you,
but when Lukaku comes in,
he got like 17 goals that were disallowed from VAR. So
yeah,
technically, he is quite a potent scorer.
Oh yeah, and with the changes now with VAR, you never know that those ones that were offside last year might actually be
Well,
onside and he scores.
even if you said half of those count now this season,
Hmm.
that's 8 goals still, which takes Werner's total to, I think it's like 14,
Yeah.
15. That makes him a lot better.
Hmm.
You know, a better proposition long term.
Yeah, but with Lukaku coming in, like you said, he gets pushed back, and then he's in that crowd of players that are all vying for those 3 spots. So
Yep, I mean, I assume 1 or 2 will go before the deadline. They have to. I can't see Chelsea holding on to all of them, but if they do hold on to all of them, probably makes Chelsea far less appealing going forwards. Even Mount looks less appealing if they've got all of those players.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, Mount was a pretty safe one. He seemed to play every week.
But will he, once Lukaku's there and there are others being pushed into his position further back, like Havertz?
Who knows?
It's a questionable one.
Yep, the mystery, especially at this point where we haven't even started yet. Just no idea. We might have an idea in a few weeks. But
we might have an idea if 2 players pick up an injury tonight.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the rules have gone back again, where the transfer window doesn't shut at the start of the season again. So I think it's open for 2 weeks after the season. I think it goes to the end of this month. So, yeah. So as much as we're kind of theorising and going, it might work, it might not, Chelsea might go out and buy another attacker for all we know after Lukaku.
It's true.
I mean, do you imagine if they go and get Haaland as well? I mean, no one expected PSG to go and get Messi, right? Anything's literally possible in this last 2 weeks.
Yeah, or Messi kind of fell into their lap a little bit, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen? It's all gone mad, isn't it? But yeah, we should probably move on. I've had about 20 minutes, so I think you're up next, Mike. See
I'm up next.
How many changes you've made.
How many changes have I made?
I can't remember your squad from last week, so it's hard to say. But
not as many as Russ.
Not as many as Rust, no.
No, there's quite a few familiar names in there from your first draft that I see.
So some changes are they're not significant changes. After the Community Shield, I put Ryan Bertrand in. I can't remember at the expense of, but I put Bertrand in, and I had a bit of a sort of change around. I put Parika in because I was saying about Obafemi at Southampton would be a good shout for a starter. And what ended up happening was Obafemi's about to go to Blackburn after Southampton signed Armstrong from Blackburn. So Parika possibly is the closest to a 4.5 million starting striker. But he's going to be fodder for now, I think. I'm going to play a 3-5-2. I'll run through my team quickly. It's Martinez in goal. It's Wan-Bissaka, Alexander-Arnold, Ryan Bertrand. I've got Fornals of West Ham, Jota, Salah, who's captain, Greenwood, Son, Calvert-Lewin, Antonio. And on my bench is Ben Foster, Ben White, Hover, and I've got Parika. So yeah, 3-5-2. I've brought Bertrand in. I don't know if I'm going to go with that, but I liked him. He looked really good against City, and a 5 million entrance into the Leicester defence could be a shout. I mean, I've got enough money to go and get Pereira though, so I may just go and get Pereira because I love Ricardo Pereira, so I might just put the extra 0.5 in and have him as my starting back 3. Gaz mentioned off air that he's got 3 players in mind that he thinks are going to be seasoned keepers for his defence, and I think Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, and Pereira would be my 3. They're all fullbacks. They all get forward. They all get assists. I really like the idea of those as a long-term 3. And then I think the only change that I've made since last week, I sold Sancho because he only started training on Monday. I went to Greenwood. I can't remember if I had Son last week. Maybe I did.
No, I'm looking at your first draft here.
Son's in, Jota's in, Fornals is in. I did make quite a lot of changes, and now obviously if Calvert-Lewin's out, I may lose Calvert-Lewin for. I was going to go to Ollie Watkins, but allegedly he's injured, so I may go down to like a 6.5 striker, and then I may lose Fornals up to a more expensive, or I may go Calvert-Lewin straight to Bamford. I haven't made my mind up yet.
God, but yeah, Bamford. Yeah, it's not even coming to my thoughts, Bamford. And I love Bamford.
They got a hard lot of fixtures, and you know.
Yeah, that's why I've been looking at the fixtures and kind of ignored Leeds a little bit, but I shouldn't write Leeds off.
I got 2 Leeds players still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where you don't necessarily need to start with them if you've got a plan. You know what? I guess we're going on last season's kind of form and fixture difficulty rating, really. But I just think Leeds is quite a difficult start. But if they play like they did last season, maybe you don't want their defence, but their attack. Maybe Bamford is a good pivot from Calvert-Lewin. Then I wouldn't have to change anyone in this team.
Well, you say that. I know I recall, I think me and you, Mike, both jumped off Leeds players. Gaz decided, no, he's going to stay. Kept Meslier and Rafinha and can't remember who else. Maybe Bamford or something. I know playing Man City and went and won, didn't they?
Yes.
Dallas. Yeah. Even though you did have Dallas on your bench, but he somehow came on.
17 points, yeah.
He kept wandering on there all the time for Gaz, didn't he?
But that helped Gaz so much because he just kept faith in the form of Leeds rather than the fixtures, and it worked out.
Yeah.
So
fixtures didn't really matter to them because they're still going to score. They were still, look like they were going to score.
And they tightened up towards the end as well, so they were getting clean sheets. So Meslier was good, Dallas obviously. Yeah, it was all good, wasn't it? If you kept the players, which I didn't.
They were cheap. They're cheap enough still you can pivot to them if because they're still cheap enough to replace someone with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Still like 6 million. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm definitely going to move to like Bamford, Rafinha, those kind of players at some point. It just depends when.
Game week 4 onwards, I think it is. Their fixtures turn. So
if
game
I
week
skip
3,
ahead a little bit, I've got my fixture difficulty thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, sorry.
You're probably not looking at the screen, are you? So.
I was not. No, I'm in an FPL draft, and I've just come up on the draft. There's 14 teams in the draft, and I got draft number pick 12. So all of the major players have gone off the board.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real. But don't worry. Who do you think I drafted with my first pick at pick 12?
Danny Rose.
I didn't, but I wanted to. Think of someone that's on the board that I would have come love or money.
Martinez.
Good shout. It's not right.
Son.
No. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
No one picked him.
No one picked him. Of course they didn't.
The first 11?
Top 12. The first 11. All the players that went were De Bruyne, Sancho, Mane, Salah. All of those players are all gone. No one was thinking Alexander-Arnold. Get in there.
That's pretty good.
And guess who I'm going to take next? Mikel Antonio. Yes! Obviously, if anyone's listening and, they figured out, because I was doing a recording as well at the same time on my phone, I'm in trouble. But, yeah.
But yeah, I've... If you're actually not looking at the screen, I've showed the fixtures and my kind of predictions of how hard they are. But yeah, Leeds have Watford and Southampton game week 7 and 8. So I feel like that's a turning point. Although game week 5 they have Newcastle, so it depends how Newcastle are. And game week 3 they have Burnley.
Why Is this just your?
Oh, this is just mine. I put the fixtures in a spreadsheet and then I've color coded them, which I think are easy and hard.
What's the white?
The white ones are we're waiting to see. So I'm giving it 4 games and then see what the form of the teams are.
Oh, you're expecting Everton to be shit then, I guess.
Possibly, yeah. Who knows? Everton are a bit up and down, aren't they? West Ham, are they going to be playing like they did last year? We'll see.
West Ham have been really good. The problem you're going to have with West Ham, it's not the first couple of weeks. It's when the European matches start, which is game week 4, game week 5.
Yep.
How are West Ham going to cope with only one recognised striker? Antonio's hamstrings don't last.
No.
So, and then you're going to ask him to play every 3 days for the next 7 months.
Mm.
They want Tammy Abraham, didn't they? But the money is the issue. The fee.
Yeah, they've agreed 34 million, isn't it, with Roma, allegedly.
Oh yeah, that's where I heard he was going.
But Tammy Abrams is on the bench tonight, so that's not confirmed. Chelsea don't want to sell him to a Premier League rival, allegedly, because I think they're worried that Abraham's got a point to prove, and he'll definitely prove it by going and getting 20 goals.
Mm.
It does surprise me, though, because at that sort of money, you'd think there are enough teams in the Premier League that need him, but have not taken him or not even inquired about him. Arsenal could do with him. Tottenham.
I'm sure I did hear Arsenal maybe inquired or thought about it, but
yeah,
you hear so many rumours, it's ridiculous.
It's a lot of rumours. I'm aware of that, but still, you just think that someone somewhere would, he scores goals in the league.
Mm.
It's an odd one.
Oh, he'd be worth a punt, wouldn't he? Could come good. So, and he'll end up doing a Lukaku, leave Chelsea, go around a bit, and then come back to Chelsea for like 90 odd million.
Yeah. They love selling their players for cheap.
Yeah. Probably by the time he comes around, it'll be like more 150 mil or something like that. The way.
He's only 23 years old, isn't he? He's got a long time to go.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be what happens. Be funny to see. If it does happen, we'll come back to this and we'll be like, oh well, we predicted it. There you go. So anyway, I'll go back to your team now. Now we've looked at
that. So yeah, I'm fairly set. I have mentioned that there are 3, possibly 4 positions I still want to change going in, and that's I'm not set on Bertrand because I think Pereira could be a better choice, or possibly someone. I might actually go Kufau. Because he's 5, same as Bertrand, and he's nailed on.
Did you sort out his contract yet? Because last week I had him, and you.
But he played. He played their last friendly, and he was really, really good. He looked sharp. So he's cheaper than Fornals by $1 million as well. So I could get Sufal in. Sufal, I believe it is. And then I could downgrade Calvert-Lewin to something a little cheaper. Be that 757, and then I can upgrade Fornals to something else, or I could do a straight swap for all of those positions and do Calvert-Lewin to Bamford, Bertrand to Sufal, and then I may be able to do Fornals to possibly a Leicester midfielder or someone else. I have not ruled out at this point bringing in Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
Lucas Moura has been absolutely fantastic during pre-season. So has Dele Alli.
Yeah.
The only thing that put the spanner in the works is that Harry Kane came back, and Nuno said yesterday that he's good to go for game week 1. And you're like, are you sure? Because he only clears quarantine on Thursday afternoon, so he's going to get like half a day's of training. But apparently Kane's good to go. I doubt he'll start, but he'll likely be on the bench. So that's throwing a bit of spanner in the works with that regards. Other than that, I'm fairly confident. I've got the structure, the team that I want. And and I don't want to lose certain players anymore. You know, I definitely want Salah. I definitely want Alexander-Arnold. Greenwood's just out of necessity because I don't think Sancho is going to start the first one or two. I'm pretty sure all of us come game week 4 will have a significantly different team. Whether that's because we play a wild card or if we take hits to get to our desired team. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm definitely not using my wild card game week 2.
No.
But I wouldn't rule out game week 4, 5, something like that.
Well, game week 5, you would have known how the teams are really shaping up by then.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of scope for choice and picks, and yeah, I just see there being. And
then you've got the you've obviously got Lukaku coming in, so you might want to fit him in. If Kane moves, or if he doesn't, you might then want to fit him in.
Kane might sign a new deal.
Of course he will. Yeah.
And how mad is that?
That would be pretty mad. Yeah.
That he was allegedly, Harry Kane's leaving. Harry Kane is done with Tottenham. Harry Kane signed a new contract. What? So
that'd be Zaha level madness. That would be. I want to leave Palace. I've signed a new 5-year deal. Have you? Okay. And then what does he do next year? I want to leave Palace.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. That he's signed. If he does sign a new deal, it'll have a release clause in it, but I can't see it. It just seems mad.
Yeah, because surely it depends what the release clause is, but someone might just trigger that straight away.
Yeah.
Be like, oh well, I've got you now.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know whether he's seen how badly fans have reacted and it's made him realise, or maybe he's spoken to someone. He's definitely has not spoke to his brother, who's his agent. His brother's a fuckwit. But I mean, I'm one of those fans that after he refused to train, he down tools. I don't care if he stays. I'd rather him gone. Weird to say that out loud. You don't do that.
Nah.
All the fans said at the end of the season, we think he's going to leave. He wants to leave. We're not going to begrudge him if he leaves. The management have said, if we get an offer that's acceptable, you can leave. Kane has made it quite clear, I would like to leave. Everything's in place. The only people that are not abiding by that is Manchester City. They've done things to unsettle him. And then they've offered a derisory amount of money. They've offered 100 million. It's not enough. I'm sorry, it's just not enough. And if you don't, if an acceptable offer doesn't come in, you don't go. But that doesn't mean you down tools and go, I'm not playing. It's not our fault. And we shouldn't just accept any old money. And someone going, it's like slave labour keeping him. And you're like, the man's on like £230,000 a week. It's not slave labour as far as I'm concerned. And
no, not really.
It's a ridiculous notion. It's just like, slavery, and it's modern slavery. No, it is not. And you should stop saying that quite quickly because
he signed a contract and he gets paid a lot of money. So
you should honour the contract, right? And we're not blocking him from leaving. We're not saying, you can't leave no matter what. We're just saying we want what's an acceptable amount. And that's the point. But he didn't. He down tools. He didn't come back. And
I don't know how true that is.
It is true.
I feel like maybe the media will exaggerate that because they're just stirring stuff up.
He just had an extended holiday, didn't he? Because of the Euros.
Yeah.
No. He definitely. It wasn't a regulation holiday. The club didn't allow it. I mean, Nuno during all of his interviews said he was supposed to be back. Management have basically said he should have been back and he wasn't.
Maybe he just needed a bit of time to get his head straight. I just feel like sticking up for him because it's fun.
I mean,
and normally I really dislike players that do down tools. I think
I
I
just can't-
famously
I
got
can't
hatred
accept what
for
he's done.
several players. Like, is it Saha? I didn't like him. Pretty sure he down tools, didn't he? Before he's moved to Man U.
Oh, Louis Saha, you
Yeah,
mean?
Louis Saha. Yeah.
Yeah, Louis Zaha did it.
Lescott. Jolien
Jolien
Lescott.
He
Lescott
did.
definitely did it, but you know,
Yeah,
they're
it's
different
not
players
on.
at different clubs. I don't care about them. It's just not the given thing. You know,
But I
Gareth
don't.
Bale
Kane
did it
doesn't.
in a sense,
Kane doesn't strike me as someone that will do that.
but he did.
Yeah, the season hasn't even started yet, so he didn't really down tools. He just come back late from his holiday.
Yeah, but it's
If he refuses to train now or play, then he's down tools, I'd say.
Yeah, but that's different. He's already done the first part, which is not allowed. It's not acceptable.
Yeah, or maybe he's just trying to make a point. Like,
Oh, and he's trying to make a point, and it's backfired spectacularly.
yeah, I think he should get off his back, really.
I'm not on his back. I just don't think that's what he should have done.
I think he's been a good servant for Tottenham, so I think
That doesn't
you should
matter.
cut him some slack.
Yeah. Although you're saying this, and I'm quite under the impression, and I remember vividly, you and Gaz were very, very unhappy when something similar happened with Robin van Persie. Pretty sure Gaz said to set him on fire.
Yeah, possibly, but
And you were
Van
actually more aggressive to
Persie,
Gaz.
I think it's a bit different. Van Persie was not the same level as Kane.
Oh, is he not? He
Well,
definitely
he
is.
was, but most of the time at Arsenal he was injured. He had one good season, or one full good season with Arsenal, and then he went, see you later. So it was like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, we deal with all your injuries for years, and then you bugger off. So,
Russ. Nasri.
no, Nasri was worse, yeah.
Nasri. Sterling did it when he was at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do it
But-
now.
Scum.
They're all of
Subhuman
those players.
scum.
There you go. You've just called Nasri scum, but you're telling me to ease off Kane.
Yeah, because Kane
Kane
has given you, like, what, I don't know how many seasons now. Of,
and
like, quality, like, top goal
that doesn't
scorer,
matter.
stuff like that.
We've not prevented him from leaving. Man City just haven't offered us an acceptable amount.
Yeah.
I will remain. That's fine. If Man City had offered 150 million and we had turned it down and said he isn't leaving, then the fault lies completely with Daniel Levy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that. So as far as I'm concerned, that's on Kane for downing tools.
Oh,
And I'm aware you're all going to go, oh yeah, well, you know, you're just being a bit of an old Mitch, ain't you? But no,
I'm just enjoying that it's happening to a different club than Arsenal. All our players are not good enough for this to happen anymore. So happy days.
Bamiyang did it, kind of. Signed a contract and then shit.
Oh, well,
Ozil.
he's done an Ozil, hasn't he? So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to see how he goes this season. But
Yeah.
fun.
That was a dumb-
But we should
Just-
probably move
well,
on
we
to
can move
Gaz's
on.
team.
Just as we move on.
Hmm.
So I'm in the midst of the draft. I've picked 6 players so far. I've managed to get hold of. Bearing in mind, I'm picked 12 in this league. I've managed to get myself Martinez in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, Andy Robertson, Wilf Zaha, and Antonio. I'm fairly pleased about that. That's not bad for a
That's
6.
not bad.
Considering I'm 12th in the draft list, I've managed to get Liverpool's fullbacks.
Hmm.
So, I mean, obviously Robertson's out for a month, but he's good trade value. That's why I did it, because I think I'll start him on the bench for a couple of months or a couple of weeks. Someone's going to want a Liverpool defender in this league, and I can go, yeah, I'll trade you, but I want Kevin De Bruyne. See? A little bit of trade value there.
Genius.
So, yeah, playing the long con here. Obviously, it won't work that way, but for now, it seems like it might.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sounds like you've got quite a few good players there.
I'm done all right.
surprised.
I've done
I'm
I mean, I've
surprised
still got
others
9
haven't
more to
picked
go.
him. But
I mean, because you can pick whoever without any budgetary concerns. I mean, my backup goalkeeper at this point could be Hugo Lloris. I'm quite excited by that idea because no one seems to want to draft him.
is it I don't know how the draft works, and we're getting off topic, but is it
It's essentially
unlimited budget? Is it just you pick the
unlimited
players?
budget. You just pick a player.
Yeah,
You
okay.
get 60 seconds to pick a player when it's your turn in each round.
All right. Yeah.
That wouldn't be enough for me. That
Oh,
would be
God,
enough
yeah,
time.
no.
So that's what well, beforehand. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go through all the
Make
players'
a
names,
list.
add them to your watch list, and go for them. I had a watch list of 72 players, and I'm already down to 19. And like I said, I've got to get 9 more players in. So I'm not going to get all the players I want, but I am getting players that other people are not expecting. Thankfully, because other people, when they're drafting, are looking for like high-end players. They're going, "Oh, I want the Manes, the De Bruynes, I want the Jotas," and so yeah, I'm missing out on them. But I'm sneaking in defenders that no one's even thinking about. I mean, my next round draft, I'm fairly tempted to go for Cresswell of West Ham or Soufal because no one's looking at them, and they're low down on the draft board as well. They're like Soufal's 218 in the draft, so might pick him up. There you go. Imagine that four-man defense: Robertson, Alexander, Wan-Bissaka, and Soufal.
Big at the back.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? So yeah. But anyway, we'll move on to Gaz's team. Gaz has mentioned that he's done no changes yet, but this is where the other topics come in. Gaz is waiting for confirmed transfers that are definitely not going to happen now until deadline day, right? So.
Yeah, so you have to fill us in, Gaz. So your team is exactly the same as last week, but I guess you should run through it anyway.
Just in case.
Or maybe run through it and talk about what you're changing. I don't know what you want to do.
Oh, excuse me.
So yeah. So I had a look through earlier to see if they've added any of the new signings, and they haven't. So I've not needed to do anything. So we've got Martinez in goal, Castagne, which probably will change because he didn't play the other day. I think he's injured still, but they haven't updated it on there for some reason. But yeah, that's probably going to change. Van Dijk, Shaw, and then we've got Salah, Fernandes, Dallas, Rafinha, and then up front Antonio, Wilson, and Watkins. And on the bench, we've got Foster, Bissouma, Veltman, and Rose. So yeah, ideally, the transfers, the players that I do want, they haven't been confirmed signings, or they just haven't updated the website. So ideally, going forward, my 3-man defence, I'd want Trent, Varane, and Chilwell. Chilwell's on there, Trent's on there, Varane's not on there.
Varane's the one. Yep.
Yeah, I want to get him in.
Hasn't officially signed yet, but it's all done. But he hasn't signed.
Quarantining as we speak, so I'm sure his signing will be confirmed before deadline. But I don't see him being added to the game before deadline.
So
that's a knock-on effect, right? If he's not added to the game, he hasn't trained, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
eventually, that's who I want to have, but I'll just stick with this for now. So yeah, Castagne probably won't stay. Salah, captain, that's nailed on. Fernandes, definitely. Dallas, Rafinha, I still like them. I still don't have a problem with them. I doubt they'll change. Antonio, yeah, keep him. Wilson, keep him. Watkins is apparently injured now, so I'm thinking Iheanacho probably. I'll put Iheanacho in.
Didn't start the Community Shield, did he? But he came on and scored the penalty.
He came on, yeah. Daka come on as well.
Yes, for Vardy.
He might not start, but he's going to come on, isn't he? If Vardy doesn't do anything, he'll come on, and he does. When he does come on, he normally does something. So
it's not just that. Vardy's like 34, going on 35 now, right? So there's going to be a change to the guard real soon, like a lot sooner than we're sort of realising, I think.
I feel like we've thought that for the last 2 seasons, and then he just keeps doing it. But yeah, I feel like this could be the season. But
Yeah, maybe we've not given him enough credit, to be honest.
no,
He's the most expensive striker still, and he's just not worth the money. 10.5 million is not worth it. So
yeah, I don't like that price for the risk of.
But he's actually
He
more
might
expensive
be
than the
past
start last
it, but-
season. How mad's that?
yeah,
Yeah, but he still scored quite well last season, didn't he? A lot of them were penalties, but
yeah, he went off the boil towards the end of the season,
Mm.
didn't he? Because Iheanacho was.
and then Iniacho was on fire, weren't he? So
Yeah, I'm looking at Iheanacho to replace Watkins. I've still got some money in the bank. Shaw to Chilwell, possibly, depending on if Shaw's trained or not, because he got to the Euros final. So I'm literally waiting till the Friday till some of the press conferences, and then I'll just go from there. But yeah, Castagne probably won't play. Shaw, we don't know. Van Dijk probably will now because he's had some pre-season.
I think Luke Shaw played in Man U's last friendly, got
Okay.
quite
So
a
they
good
have
amount of
got-
minutes and an assist, I think. So
Yeah, their Tellez is injured, so they haven't really got anyone else at left that can play left back really. So you'd think he would start, but he hasn't had a lot of pre-season.
No, but he did start. He played an hour against Everton and he looked fine. He got an assist. So Luke Shaw's probably going to start no matter what. And the good thing about the early start of the season for the first 3 game weeks, it's only 1 game a week. There's no midweeks. There's no cup games, no nothing. So Luke Shaw should easily get through that without, unless he picks up an injury in game.
So yeah, so that's looking more likely. Castagne was, I think he didn't play, so I can just go to Pereira because he's the same price. I was looking at Pereira. I was looking at who else was looking at. I can't remember now, but I was just literally just going to wait, and then we should get some more updated team news on injuries and pre-season and stuff like that. So, but apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it.
did you mention your other midfielder is it Willock you're waiting for?
Yeah, Willock, because apparently he has signed now for Newcastle.
Is he coming in for Basuma or
For Dallas.
Oh, Dallas? Yeah.
Dallas. But at the moment, I might even just wait till game week 2, put him in. Don't know yet, but yeah, I want to get Willock in there because he was great last season when towards the end of the season.
I mean, if he moves there and if he scores, he'll break Shearer's record, won't he? If he scores the first game.
He's still on for it.
Yeah. But
I didn't think about that.
Most goals in consecutive.
He's equalled it. Break it in the first game because it's the last game of the season that he equalled it, I think.
So to be fair, they might want to push that through quick and get him playing just so he can try and break that record.
Well, Willock has been turning out for Arsenal in pre-season, right? So he is fit.
Mm.
Playing.
Yeah, so there is huge chance for him there.
The only thing with that is West Ham. I think West Ham could get a result there. So
I'd expect them to. Newcastle, they've not signed anyone. They don't look great. They're missing their first and their backup goalkeeper. I think Woodman's going to have to play there because of 2 injuries.
Is Darlow injured now?
Yeah, Darlow's allegedly injured as well. He missed the last game. Also, I saw. So they're missing a lot of players. And you just think, is there anything left, of this team? So, I mean, it could be one of those ones that plays out like a ball draw, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so Willock possibly game week 2, and then I can have a little switch around with some of the because he's 6 million. So
we go for the Willock Wilson double up.
Possibly, as Wilson's record against West Ham is insane. I think he's scored every time he's played them. He's scored, so that's why he's in.
Yeah,
he might not score obviously this time, but his record is ridiculous against West Ham. So
It's a
He
good
always
shout.
scored against West at Bournemouth. He literally scored against them every single game. So he's in. So we look possibly come in, or maybe if it goes through in time. If not, it'll be game week 2. And then I just might have a little switcheroo of my defenders just to make some room. But I've got some money in the bank. I can just downgrade some of them. Maybe Rose I can downgrade to a 4 million, just so I can put the money into like a Chilwell.
Yeah, what's right? Rose is 4.5, isn't he? So
Danny Rose is 4.5.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a few 4 million options that you can go for, as we've talked about. I don't know if I missed. So there's the ones I've got, and then I think you mentioned some others that I missed out. Obviously, I took Duffy out of my team, but we're not sure he's going to play.
No, Hoover,
you're one.
Possibly my best chance. I think he's going to start for Wolves. And he starts right wing back. So at 4 mil, that could be a good shout. But it's anyone's guess. I mean, Tsimikas, if he does end up starting, I mean, what a pick,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got on him, but could be Milner possibly. We don't know yet, but yeah, you'd think he would be the next choice because he's left back. Milner's not a left back, but he was playing there.
Milner's like that utility player, isn't he? You can kind of pop in anywhere and he plays. Puts in a good performance, but
he was taking penalties as well, wasn't he? At that point, that's why he was getting loads of goals.
Yeah.
But, it's just I had to look through today. There's not really anything I didn't really need to. There wasn't really anyone that I thought, oh, they're better than what I've already got. It's just waiting to see if we get any clearer news of who's likely to start the season.
And so it's Wednesday now, so you got a day and a half?
Yeah, Friday I'll do it. Friday.
I guess the deadline's 6:30 Friday.
Yeah, so we should get all the press conferences done by 5, and then we'll know a better idea for who's likely to start and who's not.
I mean, you can tell who's going to start from pre-season and from like tonight's Super Cup. You've got a rough idea, so you just have to make sure that you've at least got one half decent bench option. That's all you really need. As long as you've got one, you can go, okay, I've got one sub. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I mean, if it goes worse than one guy, then obviously, fuck, you've just had a bad start, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, like even I can even downgrade to like a tar. Because they've got Matty Cash as well.
Matty Cash will definitely play right back.
We lost you for a second. Some connection issues. So I think you were about to say Target, and then you went quiet.
But they've got Ashley Young, so I don't know if Ashley Young's just going to be a bit part player. I don't know. Bit of a weird signing, really. He's 35.
Not really. I mean, he's good filler. He's not going to be a starter, I don't think, but he's good experience as well. I think, they knew they were going to lose John Terry. They were going to lose Grealish. You bring in a sensible head. He's just won the league in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably more there for experience, isn't he? And
I mean, I'm sure he will start, but I don't see him starting against the high end teams. I see him as helping enhance what they've got. So I think Matty Cash will be the starter no matter what, and it'll be like the same as El Mohammadi. He'll come in when Cash either gets suspended or if there's a slot, or if Cash loses form, perhaps. But it's a better backup than El Mohammadi was. So,
and plus, if they're losing the game, chuck him on at 80 minutes, put him in the box, and he'll dive and get a penalty. So he was good at that. No takers. Okay, fair enough.
Oh well, I mean, you're the one who's got an axe to grind against him. I'm fine with him.
He's a bit. I'm just saying, he's a bit of a diver, weren't he? So
Bit of a diver, isn't he? He's a bit of a
diver.
diver.
Yeah. Yeah, I just call it how I see it, you know.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, maybe he's got that out of his system. He's grown up now. He's actually old, not actually young anymore.
He'll get that far up the pitch.
Actually old now.
He's actually old now.
Is he going to get that far up the pitch? Let's be honest, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Chuck him on 80 minutes, put him in the box, fall over, penalty, job done.
Job done. Simple as that.
The tactic.
Simple as that. Russ knows what he's talking about. Bush bash bosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we foresee a load of changes, maybe 2 or 3, and that'd be it. And I'll just see how the season pans out, because at the beginning you don't really, you've got an idea, but you don't really know.
You do,
definite.
You haven't got, but you've got pre-season to go on. You've got how they were playing last year, but it kind of all changes.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Everyone's team dramatically changes by about game week 10, but you go with obviously what you know. So you pick more established players that you don't think are going to be benched. That's why Salah and Luke Shaw, I guess, are so well picked, because you know they're almost guaranteed. And then by game week 2 or 3, you see those emerging names that will surprise everyone. So like Bamford last season was one of those players. So we might see someone in the form of Pookie or whatnot emerge and go, oh, that's a good pick. Time to get him in, blah, blah, blah. You just don't know, really. But, I mean, there's a strong possibility that by game week 3, one of us might have already played a wild card.
Possibly.
There's a strong possibility.
I mean, don't want.
I wouldn't be shocked, put it that way, if one of us had. You know, so I can see it. I can see that all of us are kind of sort of on the fence about new signings. We can see them, and we kind of want to fit one of them at least in our team. I've got my eye on Lukaku. Gaz said Varane at least. I think Russ, you may have tentatively once or twice mentioned Lukaku as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't ignore that, can you? Lukaku
No,
at Chelsea. Yeah.
So there are options there, and it's getting down to that sort of.
Sancho's another one.
Sancho, yeah, exactly. See, so there are players there that are going to be snapped up at some point. It's just a point of going out and getting them, I guess.
I think that's something I've learned from previous seasons that I've tried to avoid doing. I've gone for proven players this time. I don't like that punt on a new player, a new signing, and then obviously they
a few weeks, haven't you?
I mean, a new signing's great if the new signing gets the pre-season under their belt. So if Sancho had played 2 or 3 of the pre-season games, he would have been in like a shot. No questions for me. But because he didn't, there was just too many concerns around him for me to go, okay, what do I do? You know? So, yeah, I think it's, you know, it when we're taking the game more serious like we are, you've got to be more cautious, I guess, in the early days. So,
well,
see where that gets us.
You don't have to be, but
I guess you don't have to be. No, you are absolutely right. You can be like, balls to it, hang your danglers out and see where it gets you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out. Sometimes, you know, a new signing comes in, hits the ground, and you put them in, you're laughing. But yeah, Salah.
Oh yeah, I mean Salah. If I knew Sancho was going to start like Salah did, he would be on my team without blinking. But Salah had some of the pre-season, so that's why I went for Salah. It was just like I needed him. You know, I wanted him. So I haven't made up my mind yet entirely, but we'll see, I guess.
Indeed. Oh, well, we should probably wrap that up. We're just over the hour mark.
Just over the hour.
I think that's pretty good. And I realised I forgot to ask you something. I'm skipping ahead. So I thought I'd put the league code on the end here, but I'm not sure if the league code's changed. Is that the right one, Mike?
Let me
Mike,
have a
you
look.
did check it.
That's wrong.
Oh, has it changed?
Yeah, the league code has changed. Give me 2 seconds.
So I was going to do this before, but...
Yeah, we'll probably need to put that out on all our channels as well, because we haven't actually updated it. So the league code now, it's all letters, and the code is UOQNUF.
Hang on. UOQ.
Q.
Yeah.
NUF.
NUF. There we go. So there we go. The league code is UOQNUF if you want to join the Average FPLers League. And of course, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Average FPLers. And that's it.
And
Instagram. Yeah, but yeah, you manage Instagram, and I'm not sure how much you do it.
Not a lot.
That's why I thought I'm not going to mention Instagram, so we don't get much traffic on there. But we are on Instagram as well.
Yes.
Same tag, but it's I haven't posted anything since May.
Yeah, exactly. So, so yeah, follow us on that, and yeah, good luck everyone for the season. Good luck for game week 1. We'll be back with FPL 4, and next week we'll be back with a preview for game week 2, and we'll see how we did in game week 1. So until then, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Ta-ta.